The crimson sand of the Zephyrian arena absorbed the blood droplets as Captain Marcus Chin limped forward, his left leg dragging behind him. The energy blast from the previous fight had seared through his combat suit, leaving a gaping wound that oozed through hastily applied biofoam. Around him, the amphitheater erupted with alien voices, clicks, whistles, and guttural roars that formed a symphony of bloodlust. High above in the noble viewing boxes, Lord Vextara adjusted his ceremonial, rose with 4 of his 6 arms, while his compound eyes tracked the human's labored movement. The Zephyrian noble's mandibles clicked in amusement as he turned to his wife, Lady Zarlin, whose own elegant form was draped in the finest stellar silk. "Look at the pathetic creature," Vextara chittered to his companion, Ambassador Crix, of the hegemony. 3 fights it has survived, but barely. This next opponent will surely finish it. Ambassador Crix's tentacles writhed skeptically. The humans have proven surprisingly resilient. Perhaps caution would be wise. Caution? Vextara's laugh was like grinding metal. This Marcus Chun can barely stand. Wachi faces Brutalist next, the champion of the Corvin pits. That beast has never lost a fight. The noble's eyes gleamed with malicious confidence. I am so certain of the human's defeat that I would stake anything on it. Anything? Crix's voice carried dangerous curiosity. Vextara's chest swelled with arrogance. Yes, anything, even ... He glanced at his wife, who pretended not to listen. Even my beloved Zarlin. That is how confident I am in human weakness. The ambassadors. Tentacles stilled. Around them, other nobles had overheard, and murmurs spread through the viewing section. In Zephyrian culture, such a wager was binding, sacred, and unbreakable. Very well, Crix said slowly. I accept your wager. Your wife against my entire fleet of merchant vessels. The human Chun against Brutalist. Below in the arena, Marcus felt the weight of 10,000 alien eyes upon him. His HUD flickered weakly, the heads-up display damaged from his previous encounters. 3 fights, 3 victories against impossible odds. But each win had cost him dearly. His right arm hung useless, his ribs ached with every breath, and his vision swam from blood loss. The arena gates groaned open, and Brutalist emerged. The creature was a nightmare of evolution, 12 feet of armored hide, multiple rows of serrated teeth, and claws that could rend steel. It had been engineered in the Corvin fighting pits, bred for one purpose, killing. Its victory record was flawless, 237 fights, 237 deaths. Marcus reached for his sidearm and found only an empty holster. His combat knife was gone, lost in the second fight. All he had left was his wits, his training, and something his alien captors didn't understand: the human capacity to endure. Humans, he whispered to himself, remembering his drill instructors. Words from a lifetime ago. Don't know when to quit. Brutalist charged with ground-shaking force. Marcus dove right, his injured leg screaming in protest. The beast's claws raked empty air where he had been standing. The crowd roared approval. But Marcus wasn't running. He was thinking. Every species had weaknesses. Even engineered killing machines. As Brutalist wheeled around for another attack, Marcus noticed something. The creature's eyes large, designed for the dim light of the Corvin homeworld. Here, under the bright arena lights, they were dilated. Struggling to adjust, Marcus began to move in patterns, staying in Brutalist's blind spots, using the arena's light fixtures to create shadows and glare. The beast grew frustrated, swinging wildly. Each miss brought it closer to the arena walls, where the lights were brightest. In the noble boxes, Vextara's confidence began to waver. What is it doing? He clicked nervously. His wife, Zarlin, leaned forward with newfound interest. She had studied humans as part of her diplomatic training. It's thinking, she said quietly. Something your champion was never taught to do. Marcus had found his opening. As Brutalist charged again, temporarily blinded by a reflection from the arena's polished walls, Marcus didn't dodge. Instead, he did something no one expected. He charged back. At the last second, He dropped and slid under the beast's massive form, his good hand grabbing for the ceremonial chain that marked Brutalist as a pit champion. The chain, meant to display the creature's victories, became its downfall as Marcus wrapped it around the beast's throat and held on. Brutalist thrashed wildly, trying to dislodge the small human clinging to its neck. But Marcus had trained in zero-G combat, had survived boarding actions on spinning ships. His grip was unbreakable. The arena fell silent, except for Brutalist's increasingly labored breathing. The great champion, undefeated killer of the pits, slowly collapsed as the ceremonial chain cut off its air supply. When the beast finally stilled, Marcus released his grip and rolled away, gasping. He struggled to his feet, swaying but victorious. The arena erupted in chaos. Some aliens cheered, others roared in outrage. In the noble boxes, Lord Vextara sat in stunned silence, his compound eyes wide with disbelief. "Impossible," he whispered to the ambassador. Crix's tentacles writhed with what might have been amusement. "You seem to have misunderstood something fundamental about humans, my lord. They don't fight to win. They fight to survive. And there's a significant difference." Lady Zerlin rose gracefully from her seat. "It appears I have a new protector," she said, her voice carrying notes of curiosity rather than despair. "I confess, I am eager to learn more about human customs." Lord Vextara could only stare as his wife walked away with the ambassador, now technically her new guardian according to the terms of his foolish wager. Below in the arena, the humans still stood broken, bleeding, but undefeated. Marcus looked up at the noble boxes, and despite his pain, managed a small salute. He had won more than just a fight. He had shown the galaxy something they had never seen before: the indomitable human spirit. The bet had been about victory and defeat. But humans, as the universe was slowly learning, had a habit of redefining the terms.